Hey everybody, so I am back with another prepping 5 carb low dinners in an hour. This one's just a little bit different. I'm doing this one low carb. No, low carb. Okay, it is low carb. I'm doing this one on a budget. Oh my gosh. Okay, already starting off messed up. So what I did is I went and started doing some research and trying to find dinners that seemed to be on the cheaper side that would fall in the low carb area. Did some tweaks to some recipes and went into Aldi's Instacart or Instacart. And for each recipe, I added every single item that was needed for the recipe, and then I wrote the total down. So the first one we're going to do is taco soup, or the one I'm going to talk about. That's the first one I'm going to prep. It's my recipe, but we're not going to add the mushrooms, or I think there was something else, and bell pepper, unless you have it in your fridge and you want to add it, because it would have made the total more than my aim was for 5 people, $11 per meal or less. So the taco soup is ground beef, and I got the organic ground beef from Aldi for $4.99 a pound or a package. Rice cauliflower is $1.69. Onions, we bought the bag at $1.49, and this recipe will call for 1 onion, so 25 cents. Green onions, 49 cents. The Rotel, 45 cents. Diced tomatoes, 45 cents. Black beans, 49 cents. A block of cheese, $1.69. And a thing of sour cream is 89 cents. And the total, where did I put the total? Okay, it's back here. For the taco soup, it goes over my total of $11, but it's $11.39. And this one will have leftovers unless y'all eat, I guess, a whole bunch of soup. But I always have at least a little leftovers of this. And then the next one we're going to make is, or talk about on my menu, I've made too many papers. This one is going to be a creamy chicken and broccoli. It calls for chicken breast, and so what I did is, I have to go get that, is one of the family packs of chicken breast. And what I do when I do these is I just take one family pack and then divide that between the 2 recipes I'm doing. And so it's going to use half of the package of the chicken, and we're going to season it and bake it and mix chicken broth and cream cheese together and mix the chicken together, and then put broccoli on top and then add cheese and bake it. So what I'm going to do today, because I only have 2 containers to hold stuff in to bake with since my husband broke my other one, is I'm going to make up all the chicken and all the seasoning, and if I have time I'll chop the broccoli, we'll just see, and then once it cools down I'm going to put the chicken in this, and the day that we eat it I'll just put it into the 9x13 pan and top it with the broccoli and the cheese and then bake it. And the side for that is was salad. So you have your chicken and you have broccoli with your chicken, and then we're going to have salad with that. And I did include salad in my cost. A package of organic lettuce greens from Aldi is $3.49. 1 cucumber is 49 cents, and 1 thing of grape tomatoes is $1.69, and that total is $5.67. All right, now we're gonna have, I guess this is kind of like in the order I would eat it, not the order I'm gonna make it. The next one I'm talking about is tilapia, and we're just gonna season the tilapia and then bake it. But we're not gonna do anything with the tilapia today because it needs to stay frozen. But I'm going to make up the seasoning mix and then keep it in this little container so that that's done. And then I'm hopefully going to have time to trim up the Brussels sprouts, because we're going to have Brussels sprouts with that, and salad. So tilapia, Brussels sprouts, and salad. Excuse me. The next one is baked chicken and zucchini. So I'm going to bake all the chicken at once. This one I'm going to I forgot to sneeze. I think I'm having a little allergy problem or something. It's just enough to be annoying. creamy chicken and zucchini with garlic parmesan carrots. Okay, so this one has a vegetable in it like the broccoli. And so the side for this is going to be parmesan carrots. What is on my paper? So I went and did the numbers on carrots, and I think they're on one of these pieces of paper somewhere. Yes, for one medium carrot, the net carbs are 4.3. So you're having chicken and cream cheese and zucchini and I think cheddar cheese or some other kind of cheese. Canned tomatoes, Italian seasoning, all that in the dish. So there's really low carb in that. And so then if you have one medium carrot with your meal, you're not even getting 5 carbs. So it totally fits in the numbers. And then the last dish is beefy cabbage casserole. Basically, we're just going to cook up the ground beef, add some seasoning, add your cabbage, add tomatoes and tomato sauce, and serve that with asparagus. Oh, I didn't do all my numbers. All right, so the taco soup, which is a crock pot meal, is $11.39. If you have bell pepper or mushrooms, you can add it. Otherwise, just leave it out of the recipe. $11.68 for chicken and broccoli with salad. $10.68 for tilapia with Brussels sprouts and salad. $10.62 for creamy chicken and zucchini with garlic parmesan carrots. And $10.02 for a beefy cabbage casserole with asparagus. My total came out to be $54.39 for 5 meals for 5 people with probable leftovers. I feel really good about this. It was a little bit more challenging to come up with this plan just because I was really having to crunch numbers. And even if I had it in my freezer, I still needed to have current prices. So I did order all the meat this week. I had a couple of things in the house, and I thought I ordered another thing of garlic. Oh, if you don't have garlic, all these garlic containers are $1.29. Olive oil, the cheapest one they have, is $2.49. And butter has gone up, but I'm not sure I have butter in these recipes. But I'm pretty happy. I'm kind of excited and about trying a couple of these recipes that are a little bit new to me, just with some tweaks and stuff. But one thing that I did notice on my grocery list, it's really short this time, but it has to be, I guess, if we're eating on a budget, the more you buy, the more it costs. So, all right. So I have a meeting in an hour and a half, so I need to get this done so I can get to the store and get to the meeting. So first things we're going to do is bake the chicken, get the oven heated up, and one recipe that I'm kind of tweaking and making this from said shredded chicken. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that package of chicken and we're going to just dice everything up, season them, and put them on a pan with parchment paper, and then bake them. We'll check it at 20 minutes and then see. And then we can move on to the cabbage and beef, and we'll start cooking because it's going to take a little time to cut up the cabbage, and we can have the beef and onions browning while I'm cutting up the cabbage. I hope this works. Like I tell you, I guess every week, is I have no idea if it's going to work. In my head, it makes sense, but sometimes I'm either slow or the timer's too fast, whatever it is. Okay, so I'm going to get started because I've got places to go. And I was going to do it after my meeting, but this is a motivation for me to get this done now. And this is my first video after the new year, so Happy New Year, everybody. And I hope this helps everybody stay on plan and in a budget. All right, so I'm going to get started. Alexa, set a timer for 1 hour. Here's the beef I bought. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And that was $4.99 a pound. And then since I'm doing this now instead of later, like after my meeting, my cream cheese didn't have time to thaw. So I'm going to use this bowl to get it kind of heating up a little bit in the microwave while I am doing other things. All right. Oh, and I found out last week that I had my husband edit a video, and then I put everything up. It's the video and the recipes and all the links are for different weeks. So I've got to go in and get all that stuff straightened out. I should be doing that instead of this, but I really need to get this done so I can sit and do that when I get home later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this in, and then we'll start on the chicken. And on the chicken, my total price is $7.57, and I don't remember what I said it was on here. I put $7.04, so that brought my price up. That's $7.67, 54 cents for my total price, which still keeps me below $60 for the week for sure. That's just some cents. All right, so I'm going to start on the chicken. Actually, get the oven on, and then we'll get cooking. This gives me 6 chicken breasts, and sometimes there's a variation between their sizes. So then you can decide if you're shredding it up, you can, cut it in half if you bake it. Also, if y'all are not, you can figure out how you want to do it, but I am loving the Aldi Instacart. One, I was able to figure out prices for everything without having to stand in the store. My husband, I think he slept in just a little bit on Saturday. And so while he was doing that, I was working on all of this to get this stuff done. And then we had a whole bunch going on because we had the candlelight service at our church, and we had just a million things that we had to finalize. And then I was able to place the Aldi order, and then later when we were done, just go to Aldi, sit in the car, pick it up. It's perfect. Okay, so the chicken's cut up and I'm about to season it. And both of these chicken kind of have a similar start with seasoning. So I'm just going to do them all the same. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little Italian seasoning. And the ones that we want to have more Italian seasoning, we can just intensify that seasoning later. And a little crushed red pepper if you want. And again, I can't go crazy. One, I'm not crazy about heat, but I can handle some. But I have someone else in the house who is a bit more sensitive than I am. So now my husband loves it, and I'm sure he wishes I was a heat lover or could handle it. There are times it's too hot for me, and he's like, there's no heat in this. Well, I disagree. Okay, so this is what the chicken looks like, seasoned and on the parchment sheet and on the baking pan, ready to go in the oven. The oven is not ready, but we are not doing an exact science with baking. We're just cooking up some chicken, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the oven. Okay, so it's not this one. It's one of my previous ones that I did. I have a one recipe that called for a large onion, one that called for a small onion, one that called for a medium onion. So I just buy a bag of onions and do the best with what I've got. So I consider this a small onion, and that's a small, and I consider this kind of a medium onion. I don't think I have a large onion in here. This looks kind of ugly, but no. So what I would do is I would take 2 small onions, or most of a medium and a whole small, and make that a large onion. But there's no science behind it. So let's see this. The cabbage, onion. Let's see what my produce is on here. Onion. Nope, I don't have a specific. All right, I don't have a specific size for an onion, so I'm just going to do a medium onion. And that was the oven going and saying it's time, it's at the right temperature. So we weren't too early throwing in the chicken. All right, now I washed my hands and not my knife, so I had to get that done. All right, so I've already got the skillet heating up, so we can throw these in just a second. it's a potent. Again, we need 6 cups of thinly diced cabbage. Or sliced, not diced. I always cut near the core. Oh, I'm so awkward. The core here, so I cut around it. Gosh, that onion. Got some of the core here. And you can see it, it's right there. Okay, so I know you can't see me. We still haven't figured out where the stuff is for me to use the other camera. Anyway, so I'm probably going to cut like this in half and then slice it so there'll be about half of that and not even that wide. So pretty thin, but not meticulously spending forever making the tiniest little cuts thin. We don't have time for that. I forgot to mention that I did not include any of the salt and pepper and seasonings and stuff, so it may increase it, but we're at $55, I think, for 5 people for dinner. So if you have to add a seasoning or something, it shouldn't increase it too much. I like to try to pay attention, and if I'm running low, when I'm in Aldi or placing my order, I try to make sure I grab one before I really need it. The ground beef is almost done, which is good timing for us. I have a 4-cup measurer right here. Okay, let me see what my recipes say. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little seasoning and then add the cabbage. Okay, so basically I cut up more cabbage than I need. I'm gonna add it. Cabbage cooks down and I can just add a little bit more seasoning if I need to, but I'm adding at least about an extra cup of cabbage. I think this recipe calls for a can of diced tomatoes and the sauce. And a little Worcestershire sauce. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open these while the cabbage and beef are browning. And I may have time to get started on the zucchini for a different recipe. All right. I'm going to let that keep cooking for a little bit, and then we'll add these in a little bit. And I'm going to get started on the zucchini. I think what I'm going to do is cut this guy in half, and then that'll be the size we need. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Just cut them in half and then half. Okay, so they're mostly this thin, but some of them are a little bit thinner. I think it's going to work. Okay, so I just added the tomatoes to the cabbage. I'm going to let them cook for a little bit and just kind of simmer down a little bit. And then I'm going to start on the onions for the zucchini saute. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use a small tomato to go with zucchini. I think this is an onion, not a tomato. Okay, this, oh, I can see it's pretty warm. This is gonna get topped with cheddar cheese and then baked, and I think we're gonna have this for dinner tonight. And then all I have to do is come home and do asparagus, and then it'll be ready to eat. Okay, chicken's out, chicken's done. The cabbage casserole's done. I'm working on the zucchini and onion for the creamy chicken and zucchini. Now I need to work on let's see, chicken broccoli, let's see, combined cream cheese and chicken broth, and then that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna work on this for a second. I don't know if it's smarter to do a little cream cheese and broth and slowly do it so it's not always just such a runny consistency and splashes everywhere, or if this is just as fast. Half of the chicken and put it in the pan and add the cream cheese and chicken broth mix. Okay. Wait, am I doing this one? I think I'm doing this one in that thing. Okay. I'm just gonna add the chicken to this then, because I think this is the one I said I was gonna store in the container, and I'm gonna put the chicken and zucchini in this one. Okay, and then I'll just put the top on this, and this is ready for the fridge. All right, so I'm doing the zucchini, and to that I'm going to add a can of diced tomatoes. I'm going to drain it, add a little bit of Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, and then I'm going to add a block of cream cheese to it as well. Okay, I've got I don't know if I said, I got the hamburger meat just now going for the taco soup. I've added the cream cheese to the zucchini and tomatoes and the seasoning. Cream cheese is just about melted. I'm going to add in the chicken and then stir it and then put it into the dish I was using earlier for the other chicken. Alright, so here's the chicken, creamy chicken and zucchini. I think this might get topped with mozzarella the day we bake it. Now I'm going to make the seasoning for the tilapia while I just seasoned the hamburger meat for the taco soup, and that's browning. and I have 7 minutes left. It's 1 teaspoon of paprika, some black pepper, some ground mustard, a teaspoon of ground mustard, a little bit of cayenne, whatever you can handle, salt, pepper, and this will get mixed with olive oil and garlic. Probably could even do that right now if I wanted. Okay, so the day I make it, I'm just going to mix in a 1/4 cup of olive oil into this and a teaspoon or 2 of mixed garlic, and then coat the fish and then bake the fish. I think this might have called for a diced onion. So either I can dice one now, or I can just do the dried minced onion I have in my pantry. That's what it looks like. The day I put it in the crock pot base, I'll throw in the cauliflower rice. All right. Oh boy, I gotta hurry up. I hope this works. I've got 3 minutes. My phone's about to die, and I'm gonna start on the Brussels sprouts. This goes with the fish recipe, and as soon as my timer's up, I've got to turn my phone or go charge my phone because it is going to die. And for Brussels sprouts, I cut the end off and then usually cut it in half unless it's a really large one. I have a new recipe for the Brussels sprouts I'll be sharing. I'm not sure. I'll have to find the link and send it to the page. I think it has cheese on it. I've not had that before, so that's a first. All right, I think I'm gonna make it. Even though I didn't cook anything for the tilapia, I have prepped for the fish and prepped the Brussels sprouts. So these are for the tilapia day, and I think a few of the dishes need cheese added, and then that will be, I'll probably just throw in a couple of shakes of dried onion. And then also on the broth or the liquid you add, I add the cauliflower rice, stir it up, and then add just enough liquid to make it soupy but not crazy soupy. So kind of like whatever your family wants. And then definitely before you serve it, test it and see if it has enough seasoning. Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 20 seconds left on your 1-hour timer.
Okay, I'm going to turn her off, wrap these up for the fridge, and then leave for my meeting. Hopefully this was helpful, and until next time.